Christmas trees and lights and candles. Oh my! These 5 common holiday things could put your dog in danger. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Alpha Paw, your destination for everything dog. I'm Bernie Zilio, and I'm on a mission to answer every doggone question you have ever had about your fur babies. And today we are talking about some of the things you might have laying around your house during the holiday season that could actually send your canine companion to the vet, which we don't want. Thankfully, we have with us an expert, Dr. Ross Bernstein. Dr. Ross is a seasoned veterinary professional and pet care expert. He earned his doctorate degree in veterinary medicine at UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine, and his work has been featured in several industry-leading publications, including the Journal of Veterinary Surgery. He is our go-to vet for everything we want and need to know about our fur babies. So welcome back to Alpha Paw, Dr. Ross.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I am so excited because the holidays are just around the corner and everybody is starting to decorate. Things are looking festive. But I do want myself and all of our viewers to keep in mind the safety of our dogs because that is of the utmost importance. So when thinking about holiday decor, the first thing that comes to mind, for me at least, is a Christmas tree. Now, dogs are around trees all the time. So what potential issue could we have with our dogs and Christmas trees?
Yeah, so with the trees themselves, some things to be concerned about. You want to make sure that the tree is securely anchored inside your house and that it's not going to fall over or tip over on any of your pets or on your little kids when they're next to it. If you're watering it, you want to make sure that the water is not stagnant and laying around. That can be breeding ground for bacteria or mosquitoes even or other bugs. And also if it's sprayed with any fertilizers or pesticides, that can also potentially be harmful if your dog is over there licking or eating the tree.
Totally. I also like how you threw in little kids, like make sure your children aren't being toppled by your tree because that is so valid. Like kids and dogs have like the same, something shiny and chaos ensues. So thank you for that. Now I know we always like putting lights around our trees and we put lights up in other places of house. So are those things that we need to be concerned about too?
Yeah, and that's probably the bigger concern, I would say, in my personal experience with the Christmas trees themselves, is the decorations on the trees and some of the other decorations and lights. And tinsel is a big one on the house that it's very sparkly and shiny and they have new smells. And pets are very curious and like to eat them. And so, like I said, tinsel, that's a big one. Dogs often ingest that and it can cause problems if it gets stuck in their GI tract. So I want to make sure that put your decorations up, that your dogs or cats are not eating them.
It's so crazy just listening to everything we're discussing and realizing that essentially holiday decorations, Christmas trees, all of that is just one big tease to our pets. We're like dangling shiny things that make noise. And we're like, but you can't have it. You can't touch it and you can't eat it. Like, we're so inconsiderate. Okay, so Dr. Ross, I know you mentioned decorations that are on the tree. That's a big one because I know Pod is fascinated with these things hanging on this tree that he can't have or touch or eat. And they could be plastic, they could be glass. Can you explain kind of what can happen if our dogs get into the ornaments?
So thanks for bringing that up. And it's really important to recognize some signs early that could potentially be harmful if your dog did start eating or get into something that they shouldn't, such as glass or plastic ornaments on your Christmas tree or around the house. So if it's sharp, it could cut their gums or tongue and they can have blood coming out of their mouth. If they actually swallowed it and ingested it and it didn't go down properly and pass through, you can start seeing some GI or gastrointestinal signs. That can be a decreased appetite, lethargy, vomiting, diarrhea, restlessness, and in worst cases, they can be really painful and it's not passing through. And if these signs continue for longer than a couple of hours to days, then you should definitely have them evaluated by your veterinarian.
Oh, that's so scary. But I mean, personally speaking, I think it's probably best to just keep your ornaments a little bit higher up. I mean, we decorated our tree and I put ornaments everywhere. Pod posed, we took our pick, and then I put all the ornaments above where he can get to them just because I want to avoid having to take him to the vet anytime during this holiday season. And speaking of holiday season, I know a lot of people are celebrating Kwanzaa or Hanukkah during this time of year as well. And those holidays involve a lot of lit candles. And even if you're not even celebrating those holidays, like I have lit candles all over the apartment, smells like a wonderful gingerbread house in here. But I know that those can be problematic too. So can you kind of explain what can go wrong with holiday candles and our dogs?
Yes. And I know this is about dogs, but I do want to put a little plug in here and say cats sometimes are very notorious for taking candles and doing that little thing with their paw, and they love to push them. And that can be really dangerous too. But certainly you want to make sure that when there are lit candles and your pets are in the vicinity, to always have them supervised. And when you leave the room, to blow out the candles. And so you just want to make sure that you're using them safely. And if they do have some sort of smoke or odor or incense, that can potentially be problematic for some dogs that have allergies to that smoke or have some other pulmonary or respiratory illness that can potentially be worsened by the new smoke in the house.
Totally. So I mean, we keep our candles pretty high up. But what you're explaining about cats, I mean, I love cats, but they're assholes. Excuse my language. They're too smart for their own good. And it's hilarious watching these videos. But yeah, if your cat knocks over your candle and sets things on fire, that's kind of a problem. So I know that our producer, she's a weird one, but we love her. She has plans to make out with her dog under that mistletoe. And aside from being weird, is there anything we should actually warn her about regarding her dog's safety and the mistletoe?
Yes. During Christmas time and holidays, there's often a bunch of flower or fauna decorations around the house, such as mistletoe, holly, poinsettia. Some other types of flowers and berries can be potentially toxic to dogs, and some are toxic to cats as well. So, for example, if they ingested holly or mistletoe or poinsettia, they can show GI or gastrointestinal signs. And kind of like we mentioned earlier, if they ate some of the decorations around the house, that can manifest as excessive drooling, decreased appetite, lethargy, vomiting, diarrhea. This doesn't necessarily always go for the holidays, but lilies are also another big one that we want to avoid, especially if you have cats. They can be nephrotoxic. And again, I guess I should also say this, that your pets don't necessarily know that it's a holiday. And even though we love to give them treats.
You mean Pod doesn't know that Santa's coming soon?
Well, okay, let me rephrase
Shocked and
this.
confused.
We love to give them treats, but we want to make sure that the treats that we're giving them are not going to be toxic. So again, we don't want to be giving them chocolate, grapes, raisins. A lot of some foods these days have xylitol in them, which can cause liver problems and hypoglycemia. So again, and I think we talked about this in some other videos, but we want to make sure that the flowers around the house, as well as the treats that we're giving them, are safe for our pets.
Okay, I think we got it. Just keep everything that's edible, not edible, shiny, sparkly, lit candles, everything away from your pets. Those poor things. I really feel for them because this holiday season we're all enjoying and they're just like being tortured. Not really. But anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Ross. I know that these are very happy times, hopefully, for most of us. And we just want our pets to be as happy as we are, which comes with their safety. So thank you for everything. And if you guys have any more questions, comments, concerns for me, for Dr. Ross, drop them down in the comments section below. Again, I'm Bernie Zilio, and this is Alpha Paw. Be sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss one single doggone episode. We'll see you next time.